Hey guys, so I'm gonna jump right into it. So last time I talked to you, I told you we are going to go into a deep dive into Zionism and what it is. In order to do that, you have to go into the Bible, and not from a religious standpoint, but from a historical standpoint and how it affects religious outcomes. In a way. Now, I am not a pastor. Okay, um, I'm not even really religious. I believe in God. I grew up in a Baptist home with a Methodist Episcopal Sunday school I would walk to every Sunday. And I went to Catholic school from preschool through high school. I have literally written the Bible in terms of having to recopy it. Okay. Um, I know it, but it's not about knowing it. I hope that's not my son. Um, that's my wife. And this is I'm posting all this as is, so there's no editing, none of that. But anyway, I say that to say that I have a viewpoint, and it's from seeing how all even Christian religions have a problem agreeing on even the Trinity, or the importance of Mary or Joseph, or if you can pray directly to God. So and they all have different aspects. Do Catholics believe that you can't pray directly to God? You need to go through Jesus, or you need to go through the saints. Some Protestants believe you can talk directly to Jesus. Others believe you need to talk to God. The other issue is who is God, Jesus or God, or both, or then they're all three in one. Whatever it is, I'm not here to talk about all that. I just want to talk about when we're talking about Zionism, we're talking about literally the belief that the Jewish people should control Israel. Well, where does that come from? It comes from the Bible. So our political landscape is in fact governed by this religious text. So in order to understand what's going on in the world, you kind of have to look at history and how the Jewish people got to this point. And I say the Jewish people in terms of the Bible because historically that's where it comes from. They wrote the Moses wrote the first five books, right? Whether he did or didn't, whatever. He is attributed as being the writer of the first five books, and he's the great patriarch, one of the greatest in the faith. And that historical context, Genesis, Exodus, everything, from that is the foundation from which our world is built. The United States is a Christian nation, right? Even though the First Amendment says that the United States government shall not respect any establishment of any religion, but we have a colony in Israel. So let's dive into it. It's gonna be quick as one can do in summarizing the Bible to get to the points that I want to get at for what we're doing. We're going to start with the history of creation. That's all of chapter 1. History of creation. God created the earth, rested on the seventh day, all that. Second chapter. And he created man. Then he created, God had his garden, right? Talked about the garden that God had. And then the third chapter goes into the temptation and the fall of man. Obviously, Eve, the apple, all of that, right? Took from a rib, all that. In the fourth chapter, we're already at Cain murders Abel. So already in the very history of people, we already killing our own brothers. Kind of deep, right? And he goes into the family of Cain. This is all chapter 4. Chapter 5. Now, the reason why it's people like, oh my God, the genealogy, but it's important because it's how we track down who's who and where's where, right? So chapter 5 talks about the family of Adam, the first man, right? His family, all that. Chapter 6 is about the wickedness and judgment of man. And God's already pissed off at man by chapter 6. And now we already have Noah. And Noah's preparing an ark already, and God's already like, yo, these humans are fucking whack. Yeah, we need they're gone. And there's the Great Flood. There's great floods in all kinds of religions throughout time. There's other Jesus figures. There's other Moses figures. You do your research, but that's fine. We'll go with this as is, right? Um, Noah's deliverance, God delivers him from that. Then God has his covenants that he says, afterwards, you know what, I'm going to promise you that I won't kill everybody again and all that, right? So whoever was there, God killed them, right? And then we're going on, and then we go from all the nations in chapter 10 are descended from Noah. Well, what's interesting is that Gaza in chapter 10, verse 19 is mentioned. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as you go toward Gerar as far as Gaza. Then as you go toward Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zebulun as far as Lasha. So what's interesting is that even before there was an Israel, even in the Bible, in the Jewish book, there's mention of Gaza and Canaanites and the land of Canaan, right? Or the person Canaan, who after which the land is named after, right? But when we're naming these first names here in chapter 10, and we're talking about nations descending from Noah, just want people to understand that. Chapter 11, Tower of Babel, humans all got together and they wanted to reach God. So God had to spread humanity in the different languages all over the earth so that together they can't try to reach the level of God. Right? This has all already happened. We're in chapter 11. I'm only 7 minutes into this with 4 minutes being an introduction, so 3 minutes of Bible time. All right. And then we go into the descendants. And then and that's still the chapter 11. Chapter 12 goes into the promises of Abraham. And this is where things start getting a little, this is where we get to the meat. Chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord has said to Abram, get out of your country. So he was already in another country. From your family and from your father's house to a land that I will show you. So already, even in here, it acknowledges that you are in another country. I want you to leave your country where you are. Leave your father's house, and you're going to go somewhere else. And I'm giving you that land. And I will bless, and I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great. And you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, America, who bless Israel. And I will curse him who curses you.